Hello everyone. In the EDAP 689 class, this video will be a quick introduction and how-to complete module number 2. By now, we've had a class where we've met online, and I hope that if you haven't been able to be there at that time, that you've watched the Collaborate video. This video is a very truncated, simplified, for those of you who kind of know what you're doing, just to give you an idea how to get it done. We're going to do Module 2 where we create a Twitter account. We're going to find 10 individuals, education-oriented, or organizations that we are going to follow. We will then create a Twitter widget that we will be placing into our wiki space. The Twitter, everything you need, and this is how it works in each one of these, everything you need is inside your module. There is always a folder that has the tools. In our case right now, it is the Twitter. And then there's an article folder. You're reading articles that support what we're doing. And then on the wiki space page that you create for each one of these modules, that's where you write about the various ideas that you read in the articles. So, as you can see, when I go into the Twitter tools folder, I've got a link that'll take me to Twitter. I've got a Twitter guide PDF. If I'm the kind of person who needs to watch to understand something, there's the widget, how to make the widget, and then here's even more Twitter widgets that you can make. Here are some links that will take you to places where you can follow or find ideas for people to follow, etc., etc., etc. Now, let's go to our wiki space, because one of the things you should get into the habit of doing before you start every module is going to your wiki space page, and as you can see, here's my home page of who I am, where I put my Flipgrid and my GoAnimate and my revolver globe and my counter. And now I'm going to add a new page, and this new page is the same name as our module, who I am connected to. And I'm going to create. You then are going to put a title in here because you have to. Remember, the web hates the null sets. So we have to put something on this page so that when we save it, it doesn't disappear. So I'm going to click in here and I'm going to type in who I am connected to. And there we go. When I now save this page, what it will do is it will automatically put it over here in my pages list. And as you can see, I can now jump to my home page, who I am, and I can jump to who I am connected to. Now I'm all set to go in my wiki space. The wiki space, I cannot emphasize enough, is the landing pad for your PLN. In other words, you're going to be saying to people in your PLC or people in your school, hey, I've got an enormous amount of resources that have to do with what we teach or what we do here at this school. And if you would like to see it, please come join me at https://mywikispaces.wikispaces.com. In other words, you've given your wikispace a name. People then can come here. And the beauty of what we're doing today with the Twitter is your Twitter feed will not be full of the junk that Twitter is usually associated with, because you've gone in and you've been very specific and very straightforward and directed about the people or the organizations you want to follow. You do that by liking them, the little heart. Then, when you create your Twitter widget, you can say in the Twitter widget, the only thing I want you to show in my Twitter feed that'll be on my Wikispaces page are the sites, people, organizations that I like. It's a very simple process. Here we go. So I'm going to jump back here. I've gone into tools who I am connected to. I'm going to click on Twitter. Now mine just threw me right into my account. So let me show you what it looks like. So when you go to twitter.com, basically it's going to ask you to sign up. And when you do that, let me show you what this is, because I logged out. There we go. When you go in, click on the sign up button, go ahead and create yourself an account. That's what you want to do first. If you already, but Steve, I already have a Twitter account. Fine. But Steve, it might be a little bit embarrassing what I'm following on my Twitter account. Well, we're not going to see your whole Twitter account. Again, that's the beauty of what you're doing. You're going to be able to be very selective about what you want to put over into your wiki space. So using your own account is fine, fine, fine. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And here I am. I'm now at Steve Swan's Wikispace page. And as you can see, one of the things that I follow are TED Talks. I love TED Talks. Google, so on and so on. Los Angeles Times. A lot of this has to do with my greater picture. In other words, what I like to read about and think about. But for our purposes, we're trying to build something that's focused, directed. Don't be afraid of granularity. Put something in that's very specific to what you do. So let's try something straightforward. Math instruction. Elementary. I'm going to look for that. Well, you had to spell things right, which I'm really surprised at. I mean, how does Trump get away with this? Oh, sorry, that was my one and only political comment for the day. So when you go into here, what you're starting to see are organizations that have things that have to do with math in their school. So these are very specific kind of places. If we let's see what BCPS is, elementary math. Woo, nice site. And as you scroll down through here, are there things here for you to use, or is this mostly just people showing off their school? And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. And speaking of that, if you want to use your school as one of your Twitter sites, sure, go for it. Be great. But let's go back to the other idea. Resources for STEM elementary. As you can see, I'm being fairly granular here. But I could be even more granular. Resources for teaching 5th grade or 4th grade fractions. Resources for teaching middle school algebra. NCTM, National Council for Teaching for Mathematics. NCTE, National Council of Teachers of English. Go ahead and put in those kinds of things. Find stuff that makes you go, huh, that's really interesting. And I want to follow because they're telling me, there you go, 15 free tools and resources for teachers. Yep, that's the kind of stuff I want to be connected to. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Takes me to this gentleman's site. I start reading. Remember, read. Don't just grab the first thing you see. If I like what I'm seeing here, what am I going to do? I'm going to like it. Now, what I'm doing when I do this is I'm saying that I like this area. I like this site. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to follow him because I want him to keep giving me information, and I liked him. The like comes into play when you start looking for building your widget. That's what the like is for. But now I'm going to go down through here and look at some other things. Google Views for your classroom. That's right up my alley. Why AR? 8 reasons do you augment? Oh, that's right up my alley. You see what I'm doing? I am really trying to get to the stuff that I want to have. It's that easy, folks. Now I'll go back in here and let's go ahead and do NCTM. And by the way, if you noticed in that module, I do have links that will take you to areas of suggestions for who to follow in Twitter. Okay, so here we are. Where did I end up? I'm at the NCTM page. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be quiet. I'm reading while I'm working my way down through here. You're doing the same thing. I'll go ahead and do that. I like right here. I like that one. And I like this one right here. Okay. So now what I'm doing is with these likes, I'm basically saying when this guy, gal, organization, whatever, when they start giving me new stuff, it's going to get pushed out to the Twitter feed, the widget. Oh, look at this one. That I'm going to have in my widget that will be located in my wiki spaces. It's just this easy. So now how do I put out a tweet? Well, that's even easier. Come up here to the top where it says in great big letters, tweet. And now you're able to tweet out whatever it is you want to do. Now, what I'd like you to do is take the time and tweet at someone to see if you get a reply. So the way you do that is you type in @ and then you put in the handle, the Twitter name of where you want it to go, and then you can write in what you want. It's that easy. Notice down here that I can add a photo or a video. This is where Twitter has really changed. It no longer does it need to, look at that, I put in the module the video I made for our first module. I could put that into a tweet. Now, isn't that too cool? Isn't that too cool? And I can add another tweet, so on. I can do that with pictures. I can do it with just about anything I want. Play, read, watch videos. Get your head around this thing. Do I already have a Twitter account, Steve? Sure, use it. Just select out of that Twitter account, if you've already got things you follow, heart them, like them, so that we can then build your widget from that. I hope that we're getting that clear here. Make sure that you create your tweets that you send out, and then we'll be ready to do the next step. And the next step, the next step is super cinchy. Okay, now that you've done your exploring inside the incredibly crazy world of Twitter, and you have found the 10 things that you like, make sure you do that heart, okay? So it's a like. Now, how do we create the widget that we can bring over and put into our Wikispace page? It is stupidly simple. But the first thing you're going to need is your Twitter URL. In other words, the address of your Twitter. So I'm going to go up here to where my picture is. Now, if you still just have the little head, that's fine. And I'm going to click on it. And what I'm looking for here is my profile. I'm going to click on my profile. And what it's going to tell me is it's going to give me, when I click on Edit Profile, it's going to give me my Twitter address. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. It's right up here, just where I'd expect it to be, up here in the URL. So now I have my Twitter address. I'm going to copy that. I can cancel this because I really don't need it for anything. Now I'm going to go back into where my little head is, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to click on Settings and Privacy. I'm going to come over to, on the left-hand side, to where it says Widgets. I'm now going to create a widget. Now stop and look at this. What it does here is it basically gives you a way, or examples, of how you can embed these kinds of things into your widget. So if I want to bring over my entire Twitter account, well, let's look and see what that looks like under Profile. So it shows you the way you can do it. It says a profile would be your address / your name of your profile. Okay, well, I'm not sure I want to do that. I think what I want to do is what Steve's been telling me to do, and that's going to be the likes. So I'll go back up here and I'm going to do a create a like. Again, I'm going to look and see the directions I'll need to know how to do it. And it's just as simple as putting in your Twitter URL / LIKES, likes. Hit it. And now what it's going to do is it's going to go and find your likes. And there they are. So as you can see, it's showing the things that I like. Remember this one? The one I liked so much because it was the STEM thing? So I have all of my likes are now appearing on this one thread. Now it's showing all the likes. I have lots of likes. All you need to do is have 10 of these. Can I have more? Of course you can have more. Okay? That's simple. Now, you'll see here it says that's all we need, unless you want to do customization. Well, drop in, take a look. Do you want it to be light? Do you want it to be default link color, height, width, etc.? This one down here, it says automatic. That has to do with the language. But I'm good. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to copy the code. I am now going to jump into my wiki spaces. I'm going to make sure that I'm in the right page, who I am connected to. I'm going to bring my cursor down. I've turned on the edit button, so this thing is now editable. I can go up here to widget, come down to where it says other HTML, which is kind of hidden. There it is. Now you can see it. And I'm going to paste in what I just copied. Save. I get a gray box, and when I save it again, bada bing, bada boom, there's my Twitter feed. Is that crazy or what? So all of my likes, when they add new things in to the Twitter feed, they'll show up here. Now only the ones that I liked. Okay? You really don't want to do any more than likes. If you put your whole profile in there, all the junk and all the stuff you might be embarrassed by is going to come flying into your Twitter. So you really don't want to do anything more extensive than likes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. So this has been a very quick tour of how to go from creating your Twitter account to finding resources in the Twitter. Remember the directions say 10 likes, things you want to follow. Also, you need to be able to have your in there too, so make sure you put in your own tweets. And the beauty of it is that it's so simple then to go over here to get your code and then to paste it in to your Wikispace page, and now you have it. Alrighty, as always, if you need help. Oh, questions that come up a lot. People say to me, what are we supposed to do about these articles? You're reading and you are writing about what your article is, and you're putting it on the Wikispace page that is connected to what the module was. Now, as you can see here, I got a whole bunch of likes on this one. So that's why it's going on forever. With your 10 likes, you will be able to just have enough room underneath that you can write. Sometimes you can make it fit over here on the side. I don't think I can on this one. Let's look real fast, shall we? So I can edit. And as you can see, when I'm in edit mode, all of that kind of goes away. I can go underneath here, and now I can write about the articles that Steve asked me to read. Don't worry about it. It'll show up. I'll find it when I go in and look for it. That's it. That is module number 2. I hope you're having a good time with this stuff. I really enjoyed putting it all together. And if you have any problems, any questions, do not hesitate to text me at 502-457-2937. I hope you're realizing that this is Module 2. How many modules are left, you might be asking yourself. Well, tomorrow we'll be looking at RSS. Very simple. And then we'll be looking at Pinterest, my fave. And you're done. This is your final. Alrighty. Remember, reach out to me if you have questions. Do not hesitate.